guys, welcome back to a brand new video. It's Manga Fairy. I again apologize for not being able to post in quite a while. I've been moving from my apartment back to my mom's house and there's just been some issues with that. For one, moving an entire apartment into one room is just a problem all to its own, as I'm sure you guys could understand. And plus my mom's house is like an older house and it doesn't really have an AC. It has like one of those swamp cooler things and it just doesn't work. So every time that I get enough energy to actually film, it's just super hot and I don't even want to be at the house. So I have to find something else to do. So that's what's been happening lately, but I'm glad that you guys have been so patient with me and like checking up. And I do want to point out one thing. Even throughout my longer break, you guys have been messaging me and reaching out, and I have two separate Instagrams, so I wasn't on my actual official Manga Fairy account very often, and I completely missed a message from one of my subscribers. Ethan actually drew me fan art, and I'll put it up on the screen, and I just wanted to like put out an appreciation post over here. This is absolutely amazing, and no matter what he says, I think it's actually really cool, and it's something that I probably couldn't have done on my own, so like definite talent there. So anyways, what we're doing in today's video is just a brief discussion on the Seven Deadly Sins latest chapter. It was a really short chapter, so this video shouldn't be that long. So I just wanted to like talk about a couple things. As always, there will be a poll from 1 stars up to 5 stars in the top right hand corner of the screen. If you're new to my channel, it's just a way for you guys to kind of see what each other think of the chapter. I never want my channel to be strictly what I feel like, because I feel like a lot of manga channels are like that. It's what I say and like nobody else's opinion matters, and that's definitely not what I like to tolerate here on my channel. So please check that out if you would like to. So I just want to start off and say that I think it was weird that this week's chapter was so short, especially with the amount of things that are going on and like the heftiness of what's going on in the story. I felt like maybe it was a little rushed. I'm not sure. So what we had was Meliodas and Zeldris, or the Demon King in the form of Zeldris, fighting, and it was just kind of a weird feeling. It did seem like really, I don't know, like I was expecting more since everything is coming together and this is like the final battle. Elizabeth was useful for about, I don't know, 1 chapter and she hasn't done anything since, so it's been kind of boring on her end. I do value Meliodas's like feelings towards Zeldris. I think this is the first time that we're really seeing him be so dramatic and outspoken about it, so I do feel like their character development has progressed significantly since the beginning. And Zeldris as a character himself has become much more likable. You can ask anybody and I think Zeldris has become one of the most favorite characters of them all, which is kind of weird because he's been a villain for most of it, but just in the brief time that we've gotten to know more about him, he's become more interesting. I'm not sure that I like exactly what's happening with him and the Demon King. I liked his original form. I don't really like this form too much. It just seems more bulky and like but then again, it's not supposed to be reminiscent of Zeldris at all. It's supposed to be the Demon King 100%, the young version of the Demon King, which I mean is like, okay, I get it. Am I a little bit tired of seeing power-ups and like physical changes with our characters? Just a little bit, just a tiny bit. I think I was more intimidated by the large old Demon King than I am this one. This one just seems kind of like a Hendrickson kind of deal. But we haven't really seen much from him, so I can't really make a definitive like statement on him and how I feel about him. I think it was kind of predictable, the chapter. I mean, they were talking about, oh, I'm not going to ask the Seven Deadly Sins to help, and then lo and behold, the Seven Deadly Sins show up, and it's kind of like, okay. What I don't like is that it's not the full Seven Deadly Sins. Escanor is not there, and Escanor's off doing his own thing, and I don't know, I would feel much more fulfilled, and I feel like the chapter would feel a lot more whole if Escanor was there with the rest of the Sins and they were all gonna fight the Demon King, because that's what the story calls for. I mean, it's called the Seven Deadly Sins, not Meliodas versus the rest of the Demon Clan, you know what I mean? And so with Escanor being out of the picture, it's kind of like a weird feeling. Again, there's going to be that argument where Escanor's too OP to be in this kind of battle. What I'm trying to say is that he will kind of take away the light from Meliodas, and Meliodas being the strongest one out of the Sins in the fight against the Demon King, so I get that. But at the same time, like, it just doesn't feel right not having Escanor there, and I'm kind of worried for Escanor. Is he going to die away from the Sins? Because that just doesn't seem like a fitting death for him, and we haven't got any progression with him and Merlin, so it just doesn't make much sense to me. This chapter was kind of like, if I had to give it like a 1 to 5 stars, I'd probably give it like a 3. Ooh. I don't know if you guys can see that cat. He just snuck in. I didn't know what that was because I didn't have my glasses on. So this is just a white fuzz. Oh, there we go. Some cat action. Anyways, yeah, so I'd probably give it like a 3 stars out of 5. I wasn't like overjoyed by it. It was a pretty good chapter, but once again, it was just like really short and it just seems kind of off not having Escanor there. Did you want to give your thoughts on it? I have a friend here who also reads The Sins, so if you want to just say a couple things about it, or are you going to remain in the darkness with your
No, I think it would have, like, I think since they reunited all the Sins and whatnot, I think what they should have done was, with Escanor, is kind of do like a chapter with what he's doing with the Grace that he's getting back from Mael for a short time. Because it's like they kind of just cut the chapter after he's asking for the Grace back, and they didn't really do anything with that. Like, he didn't fight anything with it, or it was just kind of, then they just transferred over to Meliodas and the Demon King stuff. Which,
yeah. Do you think that's because, like, they're gonna have a whole chapter dedicated to just Escanor fighting that? Okay, I just want to ask a question. Do you think it's necessary that Escanor has that whole chapter just to fight off that one spore while the rest of the Sins are fighting the Demon King, or do you think that's kind of weird, like, in retrospect?
See, I think it could have been like a small, like, little segment that they could have just kind of thrown into a chapter, and then kind of focused back on Meliodas and the Demon King, so like he can regroup with the Sins, and then they can all together go help Meliodas in his little battle. Yeah,
because now that I'm thinking about it, like, you can tell, like, either the next chapter or the one after that is going to be the one where Escanor's fighting off the spore, and it's like, I don't want a whole chapter to see Escanor fight one spore when Bond literally destroyed thousands of them with his stupid fucking nunchuck thing. You know what I mean? It just seems like kind of, it just seems off.
Yeah, I feel like that would kind of kill the momentum. Like I was saying, like, before they went and focused on Meliodas and the Demon King, they should have explored, like, that whole...
Man, you can't even see Luke anymore.
Even with him and the... getting the Grace back and fighting the spore and stuff, they should have made, like, a small little segment out of that, and then have him meet up with the Sins, and then cut to Meliodas versus the Demon King, and then leading up to what they have now, but have all of the members there, not just some minus...
yeah, it just seems kind of off.
Yeah.
So, like, did you have an opinion on, like, the Demon King's new look?
I wasn't a huge fan of it, like, when he got his, or when he's getting his power back and returning to his youth, or whatever you'd like to call it. It just looked like he had some sort of, like, evil, twisted clown makeup on. It was just kind of ridiculous looking from my perspective. It reminded me of, like, a Rob Zombie character or something, some, like, weird, like, circus Rob Zombie thing going on, and I was just not a huge fan of his look.
Like, I didn't even really think about, like, the makeup and, like, how it looked, like, or like, if it looked like makeup. I just didn't like it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't like it, so I didn't pay much, like, attention to it. But now that you're saying that, I'm like, it kind of does look like makeup. It kind of just looks like it just, like a weird kind of smear of just stuff. A lot of people are probably gonna like it, and I'm sure a lot of people from the Boarhead podcast are gonna like it. And if you don't know what the Boarhead podcast is, it will be in the description box below. Check it out. But... me personally, I don't really like it. I liked the original form with Zeldris mixed with the Demon King. I think that looked really cool, and that was, like, the best character design we've seen in a while. Did you like that one?
Yeah, it was really badass.
Zeldris is, like, just, like, style fit that. Like, Meliodas, like, mixed with the Demon King just kind of was like a...
It kind of just looked like another...
Mael, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like Mael. Zeldris looked like a completely, like, new character. It was just, like, really nice and refreshing to see, like, a really good design. But, like, this one's, like, I don't know.
It's not the entire design that killed me. It was just mainly just the design around the eyes and how, like, it was just black extending down to by his mouth and stuff like that. It looked like he had some kind of weird clown makeup going on.
I need to look at the old Demon King, because if there's similarities, then maybe I could see it. Like, if the face, like, you can see, like, the darkness coming down. But, like, still, I don't know. I feel like there could have been something a little bit cooler, but it's not really the design of the character that matters. It's more of, like, what they contribute to the story, so I'm willing to, like, give it another shot. Yeah, well, anyways, that was our take on the chapter. I know this video was really short, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you watched this far, I would hope that you guys would subscribe because you guys like something about these videos, even though they're not my usual type of video. This is much more casual than I usually do. And I will put some videos right here that you guys can watch, and I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!